Hello everyone, welcome to It's Crochet O'Clock. My name is Stephanie and today we're going to be talking about the new yarn from Caron in conjunction with Pantone. Now, I am recording on Tuesday and this video will not be coming out until Thursday at my normal scheduled time. That shows you right there how impressed I am with the product. Normally, if it was a new release and I thought that it was absolutely fabulous and you guys needed to know about it right now, I would have already have put it up, but I'm wishy-washy on it. I'm very iffy on it, so I didn't think that it warranted me disrupting my normal upload schedule. I did push back some videos that were, already queued up to release on my normal days to insert this into Thursday since it is new, but I wasn't rushing. So for this yarn, the first thing that we should talk about is the price, because that is what most people are talking about. I happen to be out of town this weekend, so I was in a city that had a Michaels, so I stopped by on my way back home, ran in, grabbed one, ran right out. But the only reason that I did it, even though I knew that putting the review on my channel would probably be a good thing for you guys, the only reason I did it is because I had a 40% off coupon. If I would have had to have paid full price for this, this review would not be here. So there's that. But here is my receipt from Michaels, and I paid $4.79 for this before tax, and that was with my 40% off coupon. The price of this yarn is $7.99 for one. Which, if it was something other than what it is, it would be okay. But let's talk about what this is. This is 60% acrylic, 20% nylon, and 20% merino wool. And everybody is going, oh, it's wool, oh, it's wool. No. That's not how this goes. There is 100 grams in this bunch, this entire bunch, not each individual. And there is 127 yards for the entirety of everything. That's all the product that you get for $7.99. That's it. This is 80% synthetic fiber. It's also made in China. 80% synthetic fiber made in China for $7.99. Okay, I got that out of the way. We're just going to move right along into the rest of it, because we'll come back to the pricing, because you guys know how I like to break everything down, so we will get to that. But first off, I want to tell you about Pantone in case you don't understand, because I did have an opportunity to watch a handful of reviews, and it doesn't seem to me like most people actually understand what Pantone is, where it originated from. Most people are just like, oh, it's that thing that the fashion world follows. No, that's not what Pantone is. Pantone was actually created in the early mid 60s, I believe, somewhere right around there in the 60s, but it was for publishing, for newspapers and magazines. It was for print publishing. And the reason that the system was created was because whenever, just like I tell you guys all the time how important color pegs are to use for your favorite brands, whenever you look at a screen, from screen to screen, a color will vary. From camera to camera, whenever you take a picture, the color will vary. It's the same thing with print. Any color that you can see is going to be different once it gets processed through the print process. And the publishing company where Pantone was started was running into a lot of issues where their customers would say, I want this red, and then it would be printed and go to the customer, and the customer would go, well, this has more orange in it than the other red that I wanted. So what Pantone does is every year they come out with a catalog, and it is a massive, massive catalog of just little swatches, and they put them on matte paper, they put them on glossy paper. You can get them on a massive scale of different things, but you can order it from them, and people that are in the publishing business use these a lot because you can say, I want Pantone 1, 2, 3, 4. And that color that you choose, that you see in front of you, when you tell a publishing company that I want this text to be in this color, you can be confident that it is going to come out that color. I'm not going to get into more detail about that because I spent time in the publishing industry, and I actually went to school for graphic arts, so that's why I know so much about it. There's several different ways that colors are mixed, and there are several. There's CMKY, there's RGB, there's the Pantone colors, there's all kinds of them, but Pantone is the most popular in the publishing industry, and the fashion industry did jump on it, as did many other industries, and they also have their Pantone color of the year thing, which is great. They go to a European country, and representatives from all over the world get locked into a room for 2 days, and they actually present their colors to all of these people and why they think this color should be the Pantone color of the year. And then all of the representatives vote, and that is how the Pantone color of the year is chosen. And over the past, that's been going on for, I believe this is the 18th year. I think this is the 18th year that they've had colors of the year. And here recently, over the past decade or so, the fashion industry has really been looking at that. This year, it's electric purple, I believe. So come fall, you'll see all kinds of electric purple stuff going all around. It's just a gimmick, but that's what Pantone is. So I wanted to get that out because it kind of makes me irk and makes my eye twitch a little bit when I see misinformation go out, but it did not start as a fashion thing, and Pantone is not a fashion thing. Pantone is a publishing thing. So let's get into looking at this yarn and what's going on with it. So here you can see the yarn. One good thing about it is it has this photo. Each grouping has its own photo, and it has the Pantone colors listed, and it has the Pantone numbers listed. So if you ever wanted to duplicate, say you love this blue and you want to paint your wall, you could go to your local Home Depot and you could say, I want this specific Pantone color, and they could mix it for you using the Pantone color system. So that's a plus. That's a great thing about this. But basically what they've done here is they've just done a color board for many, many, many different colorways. There's a gazillion different colorways with this line that they have come out with. So for people that are not good at choosing their own colorways, this is great. But I have to tell you that there's lots of people that do color boards. Lots and lots of people that do color boards. My good friend Emma over at Pip and Poppycock makes some of the most beautiful color boards I've ever seen, and I will leave a link for that in the description box below for you to go and visit if you would like to go and get some inspiration. Most of her color boards are done for Stylecraft yarn, and she does have some Paintbox yarn there, but I mean, it's beautiful. So there's resources out there for you if you don't have good luck with choosing your own color schemes. You can always go to one of these places that already does mood boards, and that will give you some inspiration and some leaning in. But that's what this is all about. I have a little thing on here that shows a beanie hat, and the reason that they're showing you that is because there's only 127 yards of fabric or yarn in this grouping, in this hank of yarn. So you're not going to be able to make anything substantial with just one. You're going to get one beanie out of this. You're going to get maybe a set of fingerless gloves out of this. And crocheting takes more yarn than knitting. So you're going to be running very, very close. On the back, it has all of the information about it. There is, it's a number 5 bulky weight yarn. That is what it says, going by the Kraft Yarn Council's guides. I don't believe that. It is, once I get one unraveled, then we'll do a wrap per inch test on it to see what it is. I'm not all that, no, I don't think it's bulky. I think it's more on an Aran or a worsted weight. There's 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 127 yards, or 116 meters, made in China. The parent company of Caron is Yarnspirations, so that's where it comes from. My specific colorway is called Blueberry. That's just the one that I picked up when I was in there. I just did a quick, this is the one that I'm gonna grab. So let's get this tag off of here. While I am doing that, I'm trying to save these. I will tell you, because I'm getting ready to show you how to get into this yarn. Little message that'll prove to you that this is not sponsored. I already showed you my receipt for it, but this is not sponsored. Hey, Yarnspirations, when your brand ambassador has to do a specific video to show consumers how to get into your product, you might want to think about your packaging. Just saying. So here's the yarn. It's 5 different links here. At the end of the yarn, let me flip over, maybe you'll be able to see it better. See this horizontal? There's one on each side. That's where you're going to snip your yarn. Just going to zip under there and make sure that you are not grabbing a hold of any other piece of yarn, because you don't want to cut your yarn. There isn't very much in here to begin with, so you definitely don't want to cut it, and then just snip it. So now this link is going to fold open and you can just pull it out. Now these are in hank form, so you are going to have to ball this up yourself. I've seen a lot of people that are of the mind that they should have just attached it all and made it, you know, like cake yarns. I'm on the other side of that spectrum. I don't like cake yarns because I do not like having my options taken from me. And I am one of those people that everybody hates. I cut cakes because I think that it looks messy if there's a color change in the middle of a row, like a dramatic color change in the middle of a row. I will cut a yarn and I will frog back to the beginning of that row and I will start that row with the new color because I can't handle it. I think it looks horribly messy. That's just my personal opinion, and I won't do it. So I'm okay with the way that they have done this. I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm also okay with winding them up because there isn't all that much here. So it's going to take just a couple minutes to ball these up, and you know, I have a winder, so it would take me even less, but even if I didn't have a winder, it's only going to take a couple minutes. I will say that this yarn is incredibly soft. It is super, super soft to touch, and I do believe that I would have a wonderful time crocheting with it because I have texture issues, as you all know, so that's why I don't like most cotton yarns, because I don't like the way that it feels on my hands, and I end up getting like rug burn on my fingers when I crochet with certain acrylics. And every single time that I've had to crochet with cotton, with the exception of doing the gypsy shawl, and that was Stylecraft 4-ply cotton, but this is very, very, very soft, so I will give them that. Now, a lot of people have been, a lot of reviewers and a lot of people have been saying, oh, I heard it's splitty, and I've seen some reviews where the YouTuber who was filming, you know, they said that it split. I'm going to give you something that's either going to blow your mind or make you incredibly mad at me. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There's no such thing as splitty yarn. There isn't. Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's no such thing as splitty yarn. It's the tools that we work with when we are working with a yarn. So hear me out before you get all upset and you go hit the thumbs down button and think that you're ruining my day or leave me a nasty comment in the comment section below. Whenever you go boil spaghetti, you normally use a pot, a deep pot that you can put a lot of water in. But you could also use a frying pan. If you wanted to, you could absolutely do it. I know, because there was a time when I didn't have anything, but maybe 1 or 2 pots. So it can be done. Is it the easiest way to go about it? No. It's definitely not the best way to go about it, and using a pot will give you more results. You can make more pasta in that pot than you could at one time in a skillet, but you could absolutely make your pasta in a skillet. So if your yarn is splitting when you're working with it, then you need to change the tool that you're working with. There's a reason why there's tapered crochet hooks, and there's a reason why there's inline crochet hooks. So if you find that you are working with a yarn, any type of yarn, and it's splitting on you, then you need to consider switching your tools. Just grab another hook, and then on top of that, all of our hands are different. Our hands are a tool whenever we are working with yarn. So everybody moves their wrists differently when they are crocheting, so that's going to have an effect. If I can work with a yarn with a tapered hook and I don't split, you may not be able to, because the way you move your hook is going to be different. So it's different for everybody. That's important, or that's the reason why it's important to have different tools in your arsenal. So I just got that last one done. So anywho, leave me all the hate you want to, if you feel like you need to, but there's no such thing as splitty yarn. Sorry, folks, there isn't. So here they all are out. They're quite lovely. I do like all of the different colors that are here. This one is that this has a teal in it, and we all know that teals for some reason don't like to show up on camera all that much, but it is a teal. I'm going to hold this up here to this camera so you can see the colors in there on that one, because it's going to be different from camera to camera. So there is that. Now let's talk about the money, because as I said, this is 80% synthetic fibers, and they're charging this much for synthetic fibers. So I'm going to put a graphic up here on the screen for you to see, and let's go through some of the money. So Caron, in conjunction with Pantone, there's 127 yards, 100 grams. It's originally priced at $7.99. So that makes it right at 6 cents per yard. That makes it right at 7 cents per gram. Now I paid $4.79 with my coupon. So that made it right just at 3 cents per yard, or 4 cents per gram. Now we're going to talk about Lion brand wool ease. Okay, this is it's missing the nylon. I believe this one is nylon. Let me see. Yes, 60% acrylic, 20% nylon. So it's missing the nylon, but it's still 80% synthetic material. So it's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. You can purchase this at Michael's for $3.49 for 197 yards or 180 grams. So per yard, this is a penny per yard. Per gram, this is also a penny. I mean, it is just shy of 2 cents. You might as well just round it up and say that it's 2 cents per gram, okay? So those are comparing apples to apples. But I also want to talk about like Fiberific. You guys know my friend Chantel over at Fiberific. She is an Australian dyer, and she sells her hand-dyed yarns. You can get a hank of 100% merino wool in 8 ply, which would be comparable to the size of this yarn, 100% merino wool, you can get a hank of 213 yards for about, after the conversion, for about $16.23. And that's 100 grams, 213 yards. That comes out to 7 cents per yard. So 7 cents per yard for 100% merino wool versus 7 cents per yard, or 6 cents per yard, rather, I'm sorry, for 80% synthetic, 20% merino wool. I don't know what Caron is thinking. I really have no clue what Caron is thinking. Prices such as that, it's super close to what you would expect in a local yarn store. And when I say local yarn stores, I mean stores that are specifically for yarn. I'm not talking about big box stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, AC Moore, Walmart. I'm not talking about those stores. I'm talking about local yarn stores. These prices are right on par with something that you would expect to see at a local yarn store. Most of the people that are going to big box stores, and I know that a lot of you on my channel have spoken to me through my comments over my videos that I've posted, you're on a very, very strict budget. And those are the people that are shopping at these stores. They're not going to the fiber festivals and spending, $98 on one hank of yarn. It's out there, believe me, it's out there. But they're not going to the local yarn stores and spending this type of money. Not that they don't want to, it's just that they can't afford it. So Yarnspirations is an American company. They are, their primary target audience is the people in the US. So I realize that people all over the world can get their yarns, but this is just that it's not what they do. They're trying to, it seems to me like they're trying to go into a different avenue, and I don't think that it's going to work for them. I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go out and buy this yarn just to try it, but they're quickly going to get upset because you're going to realize that you need multiples of these, and it's $7.99 if you don't have a coupon for it or you don't catch it on sale or special or whatever. It's going to get very, very expensive, and the normal person can't afford that type of yarn. It's just, it is beyond me. Now, I do realize that, Pantone probably didn't have a lot to do with this whole situation here. They probably didn't have a lot to do with it. They probably just brokered a deal with Yarnspirations. Yarnspiration paid them X amount of dollars to be able to put their name on their packaging and use their color system, the numbers on their color system, and put them on the labels because it is a patented system and they do have trademark and copyright and all that good stuff on it. So that would make it a little more expensive. It is coming from China. So there are the tariffs that are involved with that coming into the United States. I know that it's been a hot topic here recently, but even before the tariffs changed, any yarn, a lot of people don't realize this, but any natural fiber yarn that comes into the United States, there's automatically like a 53%, I believe it is. Don't quote me, but it's right around there. It's astronomical. There's a 53% tariff on any natural fiber that comes into the United States. There is a different percentage for synthetic fibers. So because this has wool in it and it's coming to us from China, there is probably, you know, a higher tax on that for them, and they do have to take that into consideration. But I'm still going, I say nay. I say nay, nay. So let's get into the wraps per inch real quick. I need a pencil. Hold on. Okie dokie. I have my pencil, I have my tape measure, I have the yarn, and I have the website here for the Kraft Yarn Council. And the reason that I'm using their wrap per inch system is because you know, there is no standard for yarn weights, but they did use their standard. Yarnspirations participates in the Kraft Yarn Council's system that they are trying to get everybody into, and they are saying that it isn't a 5 bulky weight yarn. So the wraps per inch for bulky weight yarn is 6 to 9 wraps per inch for it to be a bulky yarn. A medium is 9 to 12 wraps per inch. So we're going to get into this hank on camera. We're going to go, I snagged it. Careful, don't do that. So I am going to break this apart, get in here, and there is my end. So let me just not tangle it while I'm on camera and everybody's watching. Let me just get some of this unwound from here and set it over somewhere where I'm not going to lose it. All right, so this is just a standard number 2 pencil. I did want to use a pen just in case there was a variance. I was not about to deal with that. Just got a standard number 2 pencil. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to wrap it. But you don't want to do it super tight. Wrap it around. Dum, 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 dum. Come on. I got some that's looser there. Okie dokie. All right. Let me lay this flat so I won't lose my space. So we're going to start right there on the 1. Come over here to the 4. And from the 2 to the 3, that's where I'm going to count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is wrapped pretty loosely, but there's 10. So this is why a lot of people have been saying 9 to 12 is the medium, and for 5 it is 6 to 9. So it is at the higher spectrum of a Aran weight or a worsted weight, but I would definitely not consider this a bulky. And what is the hook size that they recommend for this? They recommend a J or a 6mm hook for this. Holy cow, that's a really big hook for this. This is a 5.5mm crochet hook, and I would probably go down to a 5 if I were going to work with it, to be honest. So that's my review of it. Is it squishy? Absolutely. Does it feel great? Absolutely. Will I buy it? No. Like I said, the only reason that I bought it was because I knew that I needed to review it for you guys. Everybody was talking about it in the It's Crochet O'Clock Facebook group. So I knew that I needed to review it, and I just so happened to have a 40% off coupon. That's the only reason that I purchased this yarn. I will not repurchase it again, because even paying the $5.19, which is with tax for me, for the amount of yarn that I got, it still kind of makes me choke up a little bit in my throat, and I just can't do it. So is it Crochet O'Clock approved? No, no. Would definitely not do it. But it was a very good learning point for all of you guys here at my channel. They are not the first ones to basically do color boards or mood boards. There are many different places you can go visit Pip and Poppycock. She has fabulous, fabulous mood boards. So if you struggle with colors, then there's help for you, and you don't have to have somebody curate your colors for you. You can just, or you don't have to pay for something that's already curated for you. You can just go to Pip and Poppycock's website and you can get those mood boards for yourself. You learned about wraps per inch. You learned that this is crazy expensive for what it is. It is crazy expensive for what it is. But if you have the extra money, or money is not of consequence to you, then maybe you would be okay with this yarn. But if you have the extra money for it and money is not of consequence in the situation, I don't know why you just wouldn't go for hand-dyed yarn, because you can get hand-dyed yarn at the same price per yard that you can get this. You can get 100% merino wool at basically the same price per yard that you're getting for this, for 80% synthetic. So that's my review. Sorry if some of you guys don't like it. My integrity means a lot to me, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I approve of a product or that I recommend a product if I do not, in fact, recommend a product. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what your thoughts are on the yarn if you have purchased it and you've tried it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!